Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to Monday, the 4th of August. Despite what that looks like, I don't think the sun has come out once today. It probably flashed here and there. I can actually see them holes putting some sun on the back of the mountains back there. But it was a 51-degree morning. It made it to 72 today. This is what it's been like, just cloudy all day long. I think tomorrow, it's either tomorrow or Wednesday, some rain's supposed to be coming in. So we need some rain. Don't need to, well, actually I do need the grass to grow now. She's a little sparse in the wet side of things. Look at them little gnats all buzzing around. Hear them bees, man. The bees are just nonstop. Look at all them cherries. You know, the Kelly and the kids picked a whole bunch of them, and the rest of them just end up as these pits on the ground. And guess what that tries to do? It tries to make new cherry trees. So I can get some of these gnats to hold still so you can see. Oh, they just move as soon as I get near them. There's Sasha out there hanging around. But been looking around trying to figure out where the daggum camping stuff is. It was those two of those kits. I mean, together they were probably $40 or something. But them little, multi-stove kits that, they all go together and it's like a little round ball. And there's a little net sack they go in. Try to figure out where them daggum things are. And be darned if I can find them. Just simply can't find them. So I was in the shop digging around looking for that. To no avail. Sure seems weird to have that opening in there. You just fold that old drum up. It's so weak. It was an old burn barrel that we used to have right out there. That was our little mound for a backstop for plinking and stuff. I still go out there every once in a while and go plinking around. It reminds me of that when I see all them 45 ACPs. I haven't shot. I think I only got one 45. No, I got two of them. But yeah, I've been shooting them a whole bunch. A lot of 9mm stuff. And occasionally the 10mm. That thing's expensive to shoot. It goes off like a daggum hand cannon. Man, that's a loud round. Holy moly. But fun. But not doing any of that today. We're just hanging out. I couldn't even find Kelly. I don't know where she's at. I know the kids were out picking blackberries because they're getting towards the end of the season. A lot of them are really ripe right now, so they've been kind of going up and down the street. We got random people. There's a truck that they live down the road there. We hear a truck stop out there and hear doors shut, and they're like, what the heck's going on? And you hear little kids and little rattling bags out there picking blackberry. Somebody's going to have some blackberry cobbler tonight. It drives me nuts when I can't find things. Kel and I do it to ourselves like all the time. She'll put some of her craft stuff somewhere. I'll put some motorcycle thing, or in this case, camping thing. And I got stuff scattered. I know it's in a back. I'm pretty sure it's in this back corner where those yellow and black shelves are. But I got to move all that stuff out. I'm not sure if I'm up to digging all that. I think it's in that back corner. I know that I found my self-inflating sleeping pad. I found that, and it's a whole lot bigger than I thought it was. I found my old 1.5 person tent that I used for where did we go that year? That was in 2015. But anyway, we used that when we camped. All them grapes coming in up there. Just piles of them. It's crazy. Well, I hear bees like crazy. I don't see them anywhere, but I'm hearing them. I heard somebody's phone going off. Go see if I can find who that is. I found the sound. I think it's my daughter Christy out there. She's got the sliding doors to put on. We get about 4 of us in there and pick it up. It has a hollow bottom on it, and we're gonna all go out there and just pick it up and walk it to where it was. But we'll go see how she's doing out there. That was Christy out there building on her little shed out there. She's got a bunch of just personal stuff, nothing of any value, but stuff, you know how it is. You got things you don't want to get rid of. She's gonna put in that shed, and then she's gonna, because both of those engines have blown head gaskets, and just they're so old and got so many miles. It's just not worth, especially that flat 6 in that Subaru. I mean, somebody may want to do it, but she said they'll give like a for scrap metal, like a couple $100 a piece. So that'd be nice for her to would be nice to get those out of the driveway and put some cash in her pocket. She's got titles for both of them, so ship them off. That'll be good. You know what I should have done today? Instead of, man, I went on, did the worst thing ever. I went in, I was telling Kelly, I said, well, I'll just search and see if I did a thing on those stoves. I swear I did a video on that, but I didn't, or those little pot sets. It's no big deal. It's just one of those things that just drives you nuts. You can't find it. I got a bunch of camping stuff that's in that corner down on the bottom, but I got to move all that stuff out to get down in there. I'll probably end up doing that tonight because we're going to take the trip with Flirty. Thinking about going ahead and getting Kelly the rack on the back there too. Let's see what we got going there. You know, Harley's got a thing going on. If you go test ride any Harley, go test ride a Harley, and they'll give you $100 in-store credit. Could use that towards the rear rack. It's got the holes they're already there, so it's kind of like Honda does and stuff. You know, it's even got the pilot holes in there where you mount it. You just knock her through and put your. Supposed to be nice to push on the rack instead of getting your hands all over the paint each time. But we just use the palm of our hands. We haven't scratched it yet. But I need to get a hold of Viking bags and tell them, yeah, I would be interesting. It'd be nice to get a set of their bags for this thing. I've watched quite a few reviews of them, and it'd be nice. Get a sissy bar for it. Something you can, when you put the bags, that could be interrupting that too. But a sissy bar, it's crazy how much stuff you can get in a sack and put in there. But I haven't even used that. I've used the Ray Obi thing probably 10 or 15 times. That thing's got a tank of gas in it and everything. Boom. Takes a couple seconds to get it warmed up, but after that it goes. But yeah, it's talking about a chill day. But anyway, what I started to say until I heard a phone going out there. So I did a search for the camping stuff. So I did, I was doing camping. I did camp, just shorter words, camp. And then I did, thinking MotoCamping. So I just put in Moto. Well, it brought up a bunch of the old videos from 16, 17, and 18 of going to California for the BMW schools. Man, I don't know. I think I was using one of those Sony cameras. I know I was using the Hero 5 Session. Yeah, the little cube. What a crying shame they discontinued that thing. That is literally the most useful camera. But man, you look at them old videos and the lack of stabilization, them $1,000 little, what are them things called? The V1 hundreds or something like that. The little pocket cameras, they're really great to vlog with, but they had no stabilization. And you know, the Hero Session, Hero Session 5 had noticeably decent stabilization, but I mean, you look at that stuff nowadays and it's like, that's horrible. I mean, the phone in your pocket will do considerably better. Then you have something like this Osmo Pocket, and this thing's a rock star. But anyway, looking forward to do a trial run or two camping, just to make sure, you know, we're fluid with how everything works. You're never going to get it packed. You'll get all the packing stuff sorted out as you're on the trip. That's always the way. It's harem scarum, you know, trying to get it all in there. I got it in, I got it out. You know, you do that several times. And then while you're on the trip, you perfect that thing. Everything's got a spot. It's crazy how you end up having more room. And you even tell yourself, you know, let's try to get it so that this is how it's like when I take off and I have the room, instead of, you know, days into the trip that you finally sort out how to perfect it. No, don't matter. You always end up sorting it out. And you tell yourself, well, I'm going to remember exactly where everything's at. You know, take inventory of just what I take. Well, I do have my stuff organized in those 2 Saddlemen bags that I used last year. And I just leave those in those bags. Of course, you know, my MacBook Pro and iPads and stuff like that's not in there, but I just got a slip. I put that in. I mean, I took a bunch of stuff on the 2 trips that we went on, you know, to Westport and then to Astoria. God, that was nice. That was so incredibly nice, those 2 trips. But yeah, I just will set, you know, the bags up the same way, and off we go. And I'll just probably I think I got some of those, I forget the name of them. Got a couple of those big waterproof bags. I'll just pick one of those and strap it to the seat. And I'm trying to figure out, I know that roll bag from Saddlemen will work sitting right there. It'll strap down nice and smooth without, you know, damaging paint or anything. Still think that rack would be a really good thing to have on there. But you know, because the only thing we're going to take different now is we're going to add camping gear to it. And so far with the sleep bags and everything have been super small. I need to get my bag out. I don't think it's that small. And now that I see that you know, self-inflating, so to speak, mat, I think I'm going to get another one of the little pump-up airbag things Kelly got. This is the, you know, a nice thick bottom for this 1.5 person tent, and it's literally bigger than the tent. This thing, I mean, it weighs literally nothing. And I've got one of those foam roll pads. I think I used that the first year. And yeah, I got one. I seen that back there rolled up. I just need to take all them tubs out and sort all that out. This is stuff that was in. This is a bag I've taken on a couple of trips. It's got one of those little chairs, and I've got a second one of these chairs somewhere. I hope I can find it. I think it's literally in its bag that it came in. But you know, I've got that old Tourmaster bag, and the BMW bag is full of stuff too. The big blue bag. I mean, that would work good on the Pan America, but it's very blue. But yeah, sort it all out. We need to do that because we only have these next 2 coming weekends to sort all that stuff out. We're going to do some moto camping anyway, and then David got a hold of me and talking about, you know, going to Leavenworth. We did that in 2019 when we did most of the Cascade Loop. We may sort this thing out because I think there's certain days that David's going to be there So maybe we can, take our time and take a bigger loop. Go ahead and just take the whole Cascade loop. But, first part of September, we need to pay attention to what the weather's doing, because that can get you in trouble in a hurry. But, man, we went, to, was that last year? Was it last year? No, it was the year before that I got the COVID. But last year, I think we got caught in rain. Got caught in rain a couple of times. It wasn't too bad cleaning up the Road King. Poor old Road King. He belongs to somebody else now. Wish they got a good bike, really good bike. Hope they take care of it. I have no idea who it is. And privacy stuff you can't just divulge unless the person wants to know who owned it before. They'll call me and I'll say, yeah, that's fine. Oh, look at that, I got a bug smudge on my tank there. Almost looks like a spider. Need to figure out. Yeah, it's just some kind of glue they had on there. That kind of bums me out. Them things weren't exactly cheap. And they're not very bright, too. I've asked Kelly, I said, do you see the turn signals? She goes, if the sun's in my face, I don't see nothing. She goes, when we're in shades or it's cloudy out and she can see them, they're not very bright at all. Kind of a bummer. Spend that money, and it was just Chinese junk is all it is. But they're nice and small. It doesn't take much to knock them off, though. Got to figure out what kind of glue to use. You use, super glue. It'll ghost that plastic and just make a mess out of it. But I'll sort all that out. But anyway, jaw jacking about a whole bunch of nothing. Boy, did I get sidetracked. I watched a whole bunch of those dadgum training videos, and I'm trying to think of all the ones I watched. I just brought up a bunch of old videos, 8 and 9 year old videos. It's wild going back that much time. It's crazy how the time goes by. And some of the videos I'm here in the shop. Oh, we went to that dirt quake at Castle Rock. That was 8 years ago. 8 years ago, this past July was that dirt quake we went to. And I had that low chassis, that black, I think they call it a triple black GSA low chassis. Whew, that thing was horrible. That I could even, listening to Kelly on the back, her voice is shaking because that thing just, no matter what, you couldn't get that suspension to feel good. Because when you shorten them up, it's just like they do with these things. They shorten them up. You got to make them stiff, to keep them from bottoming out on everything you hit. But that makes for a rough ride. That very uncomfortable and very poor handling motorcycle. Which is ironic considering the low chassis GS is actually wonderful to ride. It is stiff. Don't get me wrong, it's stiff, but it makes it very playful and fun to ride. Do like the low chassis GSs. But all that stuff's gone now. You got them 1300s that, they're just not very popular. They weren't popular when they came out. We had a heck of a time selling them, and that's just part of the reason we don't have BMW anymore. It was an easy decision to say, come and get them. But here in Washington State, you can do that without, being penalized. They have, I think, Washington and some other state. You can elect to bail out of a franchise, and they took advantage of that and stepped away. And not a single soul other than a customer every once in a while come in and goes, you guys don't have BMWs anymore? And that's it. Nobody misses them. Actually, it's like Kelly says, and I agree. It's nice not to have to fight all the technical crap, because the part service and sales are like 3 different companies at BMW, and nobody talks to each other. And just the bad warranty times for doing jobs, and there was a lot of warranty stuff. Because most of those things people get rid of them by the time the warranty's running out, which I can't blame them there, because that would cost a ton. But, and then somebody asked me about the Acura. Kelly and I were talking about that. I think I already mentioned this once before. We're talking about the Acura, and we literally never bring that thing up. I never even think about that thing. Every once in a while, I was thinking about it today because one of the videos, we were doing something and Acura was in the background. And it's like, oh, I forgot about that thing. It was a fantastic car. I mean, absolutely lovely. Very comfortable, all high tech. The daggum thing would literally drive itself down the road. But I don't know, it was a lot of stress to own it. You know, worried about where you parked it. You know, somebody gonna ding a door, or, you know, whatever. And yeah, one day I was searching, I was getting a little insight that cars and motorcycles, everything was gonna do a slump, and depending on what things happened, you know, politically, I guess you could say, it would be worse. And so we made that decision last year to get out. Plus the shock of, you know, a touring car like that. I mean, it's kind of an SUV, but those things are famous for taking families. I mean, what was it, 6, 8? It was an 8-person car. And they're getting hounded bad for mileage. And we got that thing up to, what was it, 70,000. And yeah, we took a hit because of mileage, but we still came out a mile ahead on it. I mean, we went in that deep. I paid a good down payment, and the interest was 1.4% or something like that. It was crazy. I know that each payment, it was $47 a month went to interest. The rest of it went to principal. So we were paying that thing off like crazy. And we made, 3 years of payments on it. It was time to let her go. It was easy to sell. You know, just had to ask the right price. You know, I see other people trying to, you know, get the price that a real low mileage one get, and they're just sitting. I mean, it sold fast. Once we decided to sell it, you know, we knew about what it's worth with the mileage, and she went right away. Probably could have waited and got more out of it, but I don't like selling things anyway. It's just a hassle. That's why I usually trade something. If I don't trade it, I end up holding on to it forever. But, you know, the last thing I sold prior to Kelly's Himalayan was my 93 DR650. Everything else has just been a trade for something. And yeah, that's how I do it. I just don't like dealing with all the hassle of talking to people, and I'm not a salesman, you know. I'm not gonna blow some smoke up your hiney. This is the greatest thing ever, you know. I'll tell you what's good and what's bad, and you decide from there. And just you know, dealing with all the phone calls and the emails and all that stuff. But talking about selling stuff, one thing that's on the chopping block here is the Grom. Kelly's mentioned it several times. We just need to sell that Grom. We should sell it. I mean, it has no miles on it. It's not even due for its first service. It's crazy. I think it's less than 300 miles. Maybe it's less than 200 miles. I don't even remember now. He is literally like new. We took that one, it was either a fall or spring ride we took on it. And we went to over there by the Meekler Bridge, and it flung a bit of crap on it, just splashed it a little bit. You can see it on the cylinder head. And other than that, a quick little bath. And she's new. She always stays on a tender. Fuel's treated. I'll probably just suck it out and replace it anyway. Just make sure it's tip-top fresh. And we always use non-ethanol, and it lasts the longest because it's not hydroscopic, I think it's called. It's like brake fluid. You know, ethanol fuel absorbs water. But anyway, I think I'm going to roll with that. Dig around out here and see what I can find. Good Lord, it's getting late. What is it? 6:30 already. Holy moly. All right. Hope you guys are looking forward to camping stuff. We sure are. Hopefully I can build a video that's fun out of that. This is Mom and I doing stuff we haven't done in years. It's been a long time since we've gone on camping trips. We used to go on rides, the sleepovers, and everybody brought a tent. Do it the old-fashioned way. I'm sure we hit a hotel somewhere. You got to have that one to, you can stop at truck stops and pay for a shower and stuff like that. But sometimes you need a night that you can get some good solid sleep. I'll sleep on anything. Once I go to sleep, I'm gone. But anyway, I'll roll with that. Well, hello there, YouTube. So, after I dug everything out of that corner, got it all out of there. It's not in there. I got it in my other bags, and there's some things in there I want to pull out. So I come in with the camera. I thought, well, I'll just take a little break here and get some water and just offload the files I've already shot on this thing. And I'm sitting there for a little bit, and Kelly comes walking in with this white bag with 2 boxes in it. So those 2 little mess kit camping things that we got. I think it was in 22 when we were talking about doing MotoCamping stuff, and things just didn't work out. We didn't ever do it. But she found them both. And guess where they were? With other camping stuff in the utility room on some shelves up there.
Yep.
We got a whole bunch of stuff that we put it there because we have a little stove in case the power goes out.
Yeah.
You just want something quick, a little thing that uses butane or propane. I think you can use either one. And just fired up, to heat up something right quick. This little small camping stove deal. So she put those little mess kits, both of them with that. Put it there, and I remember her putting it up there. I thought, well, perfect. Looking for a stove.
Yeah,
look for where the stove stuff's at.
It. We'll know exactly where it is.
Man.
Until you go to look for it.
Yeah. Jeez. But anyway, I needed to get back to those bags anyway, so it wasn't a loss.
It wasn't a total waste.
Yeah. But anyway.
A lot of stress of him trying to find
Oh, man.
them,
Yeah, I've been thinking, I've gone out there 3 times thinking and looking and poking. It's got to be in that corner. Because we looked at them in the garage, and that's the last I remember. We must put them in the sack and put them up there so we'd remember where they were. The problem is remembering these cool spots you find to hide stuff. But anyway. On that, this will be the end of our first little 4-day weekend thing. Mm-hmm. It was super relaxing.
It was.
Hopefully
the
nice. Weather will hold out and we'll do something fun next weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, this was just an unwind weekend, that's for sure. It's very nice. But anyway, that we're gonna roll.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and you guys have an amazing Tuesday or Wednesday.
Heck yeah. All right. We'll see you in the morning this time.
See you then.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.